Hi, it's Jan Beta, and today I'm going to replace the battery on my Blizzard 1230 Mark IV Accelerator card for the Amiga 1200, which is running in the background here. So this is my Blizzard 1230 Accelerator, and these are considered one of the best 68030 accelerator cards that are available for the Amiga 1200, or at least they used to be available. This is from 1995, I believe. It's the Mark IV, so the latest in the series of 1230s. And yeah, this works really well. Highly compatible card. It has a socket for a coprocessor here that I never populated. It has a SIM socket, so you can put more memory in it. I have a 16 megabyte stick in there. And I've used this for a long time in my everyday Amiga 1200, and it worked flawlessly until the battery buffered clock didn't show the correct time anymore. So I think this battery, which is a rechargeable lithium cell, we're going to talk about that in more detail in a second, this ran out of juice and it doesn't recharge anymore. So it doesn't keep the time anymore, which is a feature that's not super necessary on Amigas if you just use them for gaming, but I like to do some other things like tinkering and programming some stuff and things like that. So I like my files to have the correct timestamp to keep them a bit more organized. And yeah, this is not going to be super trivial, so I decided to make a video about this because many people are going to run into the same problem at more or less the exact same point in time, which is now. These cells last a really long time, so this ran out probably 4 years ago for me or something like that. And mind you that this card is from 1995. So this lasted nearly 30 years at this point, and it just recently ran out, as I said. Or recently, 3 years ago, something like that. I don't even remember when it ran out exactly. But this is done with, I think. These lithium cells are vanadium lithium cells. VL2020 is the correct version of this. And you need a version that has the correct tabs welded to it. You can probably get away with soldering something to a rechargeable cell, but I won't recommend this because lithium cells have a tendency to blow up really quickly if they overheat. So we want to be super careful with that. And I found out that you can actually obtain these quite easily still because they're commonly used in car key, like remote car keys, for BMWs and things like that. I went with a good brand. This is a Panasonic VL2020, which I think is the original one is also a Panasonic VL2020. Rechargeable. It's very important to put a rechargeable console in there because if you overcharge lithium cells, they are also going to blow up. Basically, if you look at these from the wrong angle, they are going to blow up in your face. Let me take a couple of seconds to thank the sponsor for this video, PCBWay, my favorite manufacturer of prototype PCBs of all kinds. And they also do CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, you name it, everything the tinkerer needs, a one-stop solution. They also extended their offer of having free purple PCBs for all of October. So you can still order PCBs and have the premium upgrade of purple PCB solder mask for free. I highly recommend checking out the link in the video description if you are interested. Back to our battery replacement. Desoldering this is not going to be super trivial because we are going to have to heat this up. It's impossible to cut the tabs because this board is really densely packed, so it's not going to be trivial to get in there with some wire cutters or something like that. So I'm going to attempt to desolder this. It even says do not cut on the back here, close to the battery terminals here. So we're going to have to desolder that. I want to check if this has any charge left at this point, just because I'm interested. The clock definitely stopped working correctly a while back, so probably this is going to have less than 3 volts charge in it. So let's see if this has any charge left at all. I haven't used this in a while now, because I planned on replacing the battery for a while. Not sure which one is positive and negative, but we're just going to, yeah, that's 0.0363 volts. That's not enough to power the clock chip on this card. So we're going to have to desolder that and replace it with the new one, which I bought from eBay from a seller that sells these as replacements for your car keys. As I mentioned, I'm not going to put the direct link in the video description this time because you're going to have to find a seller locally. But the hint with the car key replacement batteries is probably pretty useful when you try to find this. Okay, so let's see if we can desolder this and put this in there in a proper way. And I'm going to use my new portable soldering station here because it heats up really quickly. This is the iFixit FixHub, and massive shout out to iFixit, who are not sponsoring this video or anything. They just sent me this to have a look at it. So I thought it would be fair to at least show it in a video. It's really cool. It heats up really quickly. And this is a portable thing. This is a huge lithium battery that you can just carry around, USB-C connector on the soldering iron. It's really small and really lightweight. I like it a lot. And look at how fast this heats up. Much faster than my old Weller soldering station. So I decided to just use this for this repair because it probably has a lot more oomph and you don't want to heat up the lithium cell for long, at least. If you have to heat it up at all, you want to make it quick. That's what I'm saying here. I'm also going to wear protective goggles, I think, because in case this blows up, I don't want any shrapnel in my eyes. Okay, ready to go. So let's see. We have these two joints here that we're working with. I am going to add a bit of fresh solder to these quickly, hopefully. There we go. And the rule of thumb for these batteries is they can take 350 degrees Celsius, which this station is set up for now, for around 10 seconds. And then after that, it's going to get a bit dangerous. So yeah, let's see. This is the orientation. The positive terminal is here, facing away from the connector here. So I'm going to probably pry this with some plastic spudger tool while I'm heating it up. So I'm using this, trying to pry this up while desoldering it. Okay, let's see. There we go, that was one terminal. Of course, you don't want to short anything out if the battery is still charged. There we go, that's our battery gone. That wasn't too bad, and it didn't blow up. Yay! Your replacement battery should have the same tab combination, of course. This is what it looks like, and there are different pre-welded versions of this. Some of them have both contacts on this side. Some of them have three contacts. You want one like this with two pins and one soldered to the positive side of the coin cell and the other to the negative. So that's the setup we want, and I have hopefully acquired the correct one. Just going to unwrap this for the first time now. Yep, that looks good. Let's remove the solder here. This should not be, this is just a standard circuit board now. It's not that dangerous anymore, but I'm going to free these holes to have it easier to insert the battery, the new one. And I'm just using solder wick for that. It should work fine. There we are. And of course, these are super expensive these days. I got lucky. I bought it when it was not super expensive. I think I paid 200 euros for this. And now, yeah, they are more expensive now, I think. I'm just going to try to get everything out there so we have a nice through hole. Okay, there we are. So the bigger hole is for our bigger contact. This actually has a wider tab here for the positive terminal, so you can't really reverse this. And there are chips under there, of course. I think this is our clock chip, the small one. Or no, that's the O key is probably the clock chip, the larger one. I think O key M6242 is a common clock chip. So now it fits perfectly. Going to bend these tabs slightly so it just holds in place. Now for soldering this in, the same rules apply basically. Quick bursts. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Going to let this cool off for a second and then go in again and add some more solder. Okay. That looks good. That should be that, I hope. I'm going to clean up the flux residue here and then we're going to test it. I think I can get rid of my very dirty safety goggles now and just clean this with some IPA. And probably a Q-tip. Okay, good enough for me. Okay, so this should go in here like so. And we should be able to insert it in some way or the other. There we are. Okay, I'm not going to close the trapdoor just yet, just going to check if this actually works. Okay, fingers crossed this just worked. LEDs come on, that's a good sign. And I actually have a little CF card adapter in there that makes a sound as if it was a real-life hard disk. Let's see. Yeah, we have our 16 megabytes of RAM and 2 megabytes of graphics RAM here. The accelerator card seems to work fine, at least the memory expanding part of it. I'm going to show you the CF card thing in a second as well. Sysinfo, that's what I'm looking for. So let's see if our processor is a 6830. Yep, it is. No FPU, no MMU. And we have our 16 megabytes of RAM showing fine there. So the card itself still works. Let's see if we can set our clock and if that keeps the time actually. Preferences. We need to go to time. It's not 1995. Not anymore. It's 2025. And it's not September anymore either. It's October the 8th. And we have 1706. 6 minutes past 5 p.m. That's what we say, 17. In Germany. So let's save this. And it should be accessible still. Set clock load. Okay, set clock is the command to set the clock really. Sometimes you have to reset with set clock reset to make the clock work again. But this seems to keep the time. Yeah, that's the command I was looking for. Date. That seems to be fine. Let's power this off and wait for a while and then see if the clock actually keeps the time, which it didn't do before. It boots so quickly. Okay, we still have our memory. Let's see if we still have the correct time and date. Yeah, that seems about right to me. Yeah, that's definitely correct. Just checked with my clock in my phone. So that worked. That was kind of easy. I wanted to show you the little CF card thing I have in here. I basically run the same CF card, a 4 gigabyte CF card that I had in there for ages, and that works really well. the little adapter I got as a donation, and I want to link to that at least and mention it because I really like the way this works. I think we can put the lid on at this point. A little trapdoor. But we have to open up the Amiga so I can show you the little card. And I also have the AmigaStore.eu keyboard in there that I'm going to link in the video description again as well, because it's really neat, the mechanical keyboard. So this is the little Amiga CF adapter that Thomas donated, who also goes by the nickname AutumnHippo. And this is an open source project that's on GitLab. I'm going to link that in the video description. You can set this up in a way so that it doesn't make sound, but I kind of like that it has a little piezo buzzer there. It's very simple, very straightforward, no buffering on there at all, but it works really well. And I had an unbuffered adapter in this previously that didn't make a sound. So, and if this annoys you, you can also put another resistor value in there so it doesn't sound quite as loud. It's not really loud. It's probably loud on my little microphone here, but it's really pleasant to have some audible feedback for hard disk activity. So this is a neat little project. These are also sold, pre-assembled by Thomas on his website. I'm going to link to that in the video description. Just wanted to shout this neat little adapter out quickly. I've been using this in this particular Amiga 1200 for quite some time now without any issues, and the audible feedback, as I said, is pretty nice to have. Yeah, I guess that's it for today. I just wanted to make sure that in case you are planning on replacing a battery on one of these cards, which is not quite as trivial because these lithium cells are so fragile, if you will. I just wanted to make sure that there is a video about this process somewhere to be found if you're looking for this. I hope this helps you keeping your 1230 Blizzard alive, which is a wonderful card. I love it. If you have one, treasure it. Thanks for your time, thanks for your likes. Special thanks, as always, to everybody who supports me on Patreon or on Ko-fi or on the YouTube channel memberships page. Without you, these videos would not be possible at all. That's all. I'm Jan Beta. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye! And now again, I forgot to connect a joystick to this, so I can't actually play Turrican.